Well, we take a look at how markets have opened up this Monday morning to start this week off, and we also take a stock of how markets performed in the last week of trade. Well, US indices on Friday were a bit of a mix with the Nasdaq and the S&P gaining, but the Dow absolutely flat. So the Nasdaq gained over 1.5%, in fact 1.6% up. The S&P 500 was up over 0.5% in trade on Friday. Both these indices clocked very good weeks. The Nasdaq was up almost 2.5% for the week, and the S&P 500 also had the best week of 2022, up 1.5%. And both of these, if you look at, largely are sitting on huge gains due to the gains on Friday. Moving on quickly to the Dow. Well, the Dow was absolutely flat and was in fact down around 6 basis points on Friday, but has gained 1.1% for the week, which is last week. Moving quickly on to what led to the rally, of course, one of the tech biggies reported extremely strong earnings. Amazon came out with its earnings and the stock rallied 13.5% on Friday. And that was what pushed indices higher, especially the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, just weighing in as to how tech heavy the S&P 500 has become of late. This is the largest one-day gain which Amazon has made since 2015. The other surprise was that the US economy added over 450,000 jobs in January. This has surprised on the upside by a large margin, and that has obviously led to some positive sentiment in bonds. So we'll quickly look at how the current stock futures are performing before we move on to bonds later on in a minute or so. Well, the Dow futures is down 0.4% as we speak. So is the S&P 500 futures. The Nasdaq futures are down almost 0.5% in early trade today. When we look at Europe, well, European markets were in the red on Friday, with the DAX down over 1.5%, the CAC down over 0.75% on Friday. Moving quickly on to how Asia has started this week off. Asia is largely in the red as I see it. The Nikkei is down around 0.9%. The Hang Seng is down 0.75%. The ASX 200 is down almost 0.5%, and the Kospi is down exactly 1% as we speak. The Shanghai, though, is the only index standing to gains. It's up around 1.7% in early trade today. When we look at the SGX Nifty, that's down 2%, following pretty much how the Asian markets, other Asian peers are doing. The SGX Nifty is down 0.33% in early trade today. What's really stood out on the commodities basket has been oil of late. Well, that breached the $92 a barrel mark. It was above the $91 a barrel mark in early trade Saturday, late trade Friday. Well, now it's breached the $92 a barrel mark in early trade Monday. And gold is holding up very smartly above that $1,810 an ounce mark broadly. That's where it's firmly sticking as inflation risks continue in the global economy. The much needed bonds, well, bond yields have gone up strongly after that positive employment numbers from the US in January. Bond yields are currently above that 1.9% mark, strong gains. Mind you, bond yields were at 1.5% at the start of 2022. So this 40 basis point rally in bond yields has come in as a bit of a surprise, but that's pretty much how the Federal Reserve commentary is going currently as well. And that saw the US dollar gain a bit as well. It's now at the 95.6 mark in early trade today. It's leveled off in early trade today. However, it's gained versus Friday when we last spoke. When we move on lastly to how crypto is looking. Well, crypto has been a mix as well of late, and now it suddenly gained traction, especially in early trade today. It's up 2.4% in early trade today. It's at the 42,500 US dollar mark. That's a roundup from us to start this week.